What's up, everybody? It's me, Skibbity Skyworld. Welcome back to another Skyworld stream video. Today we're going to be talking about the Chaos fights in Skylanders. So, as everybody who has at least 2 brain cells knows, Chaos is the main guy in Skylanders, the villain, the modus operandi to the Skylanders. And in every game, you have to defeat Chaos by killing him at the end. In an epic fight, but not all these fights are created equal. Some of them involve foot fetishes, while some of them involve epic giant robot fights. Like I said, not all created equal. It all just comes down to the finer details. So today, we're going to be ranking all of them from not shit to shit. Actually, no. Shit to not shit. You get it, guys. So let's get right into the news. Sadly, for number 6 and the last place, we have Swap Force's Chaos Battle. Look, man, I see the appeal to a degree. I mean, there's not much appeal, but I see it. The creativity, it's kind of cool. I mean, also he's big, so I guess that counts a little bit for style points. But other than that, there's really not much saving this. The gameplay, first of all, is just, it's literally fighting the exact same enemies you fought the entire game, but again, yay. And I mean, in reality, all this is just a bunch of switching arena stages with like a cool little coat of paint, sure, but it's really just fighting the basic enemies. And I mean, obviously, I don't really have that much of a problem. At the beginning, it was just a bit, but some people do not like that foot part. That kind of freaks them out a little bit. But another thing is, this battle, obviously, I mean, Swap Force is like a more lighthearted game than most in the series, but still, the battle was like handled very cartoonishly. There was like no sense of epicness or urgency. It didn't feel like a very compelling climax of the game. But like I said, credit where credit's due. It is creative. It tried something new, and it didn't really work. Also, the music. This is a category for this. Yes, indeed. It's kind of bland. It's just a Chaos theme that we've heard over and over again, but with a little bit of extra. Nothing too memorable, considering there's 6 other of these. I mean, 5 other. But, you know, it's not horrible. Some people might tell you it is, but it just doesn't compare to the rest in any margin. So, sorry, Swap Force.
Foolish apprentice!
Number 5 is Skylanders Spars Adventure Chaos Battle. As the first game and the first Chaos Battle, I can understand that there's some room for improvement. This is, you know, just the beginning. But that doesn't mean it's going to be too good. It definitely was quite an evolution curve for the rest of the series. It is kind of the same problem as Swap Force in the gameplay section. It's just repetitive. I mean, some would say it's the culmination of all the Chaos encounters we've had across the series, but to me, it just seems like a lazy reuse of assets, especially considering how some of the spells just go on forever without you being able to get a single hit on Chaos. Obviously, SSA only has 1 difficulty setting, and on that 1 difficulty setting, it takes like 40 minutes to complete this boss, unless you have an OP Skylander. It just doesn't need to be that long, first of all. And lastly, this big important reason. The Hydra. That was the big reveal. That was supposed to be the thing that topped everything. It was the minion that defeated the Core of Light, and it was just a nothing burger, honestly. The music, though, that's some good stuff. That is an iconic mix, the original Chaos Battle theme, and that cannot be understated. But it's not enough to save this Chaos Battle, though. Number 4 on the list is the Skylanders Imaginators boss fight, kind of repeating the same mistakes as the last 2. First of all, it's just literally an asset flip, kind of the same way as SSA. It just takes the Doomlander boss fights from across the game and resets them on here as basic enemies, while Chaos also does a little blow up attack with shockwaves that we've seen a million times over before. It's just, this fight is such a nothing burger. It is so emotionless. There's nothing there. There's no substance. It's just punch Chaos. Oh my gosh, something happens. Wow, that's crazy. It is, the best way to describe this boss fight is monotone. It's just bland. So bland. One thing I do like about it though, credit where credit's due again, there is actually some story tension mid-fight, which is not anything any of the other Chaos boss fights even tried to introduce. The drama between the Brain and Chaos, and the Brain having his heroic moment of changing his ways, it's actually a pretty cool concept. Unfortunately, at this point, the Imaginator's story was already so fucked that you don't care. Doesn't matter. Super Saiyan Chaos is also sick, but neither of those two things are enough to save this. And the music is just bland as well. So, editor's note, apparently the entire Imaginator's Chaos boss fight soundtrack is completely stock music. Like, they literally just copy and pasted a stock soundtrack in there. Like, come on, man. At least Trap Team had an original segment to it that was completely original music, and the mixing between the several different stock tracks used was, I think, quite well done. But imagine they just copied and pasted it in there and called it a day. Wow. Thanks, Imagineers. I'm gonna bring up the music every time because I'm a Skylanders music connoisseur. Either way, though, this one was just really mediocre. Nothing extremely wrong with it, but nothing at all right with it either.
Chaos.
Coming in at our third place slot, we have Skylanders Superchargers. This might be a bit of a surprise for some people that it got up so high, but I mean, it might be simple, it might be a little plain, but it works, it gets the job done. The music is kind of a vibe, definitely not the whole epic thing, but it works in that scenario. It's just a very simple and straightforward boss fight, in a good way of course. It's decently challenging on the harder difficulties, but nothing too crazy. Also, the little banter you get between the darkness and chaos in the back helps to elevate the thing to new heights. Overall though, there isn't really much to say about this boss fight because there's nothing really wrong with it, and I think that's a good thing. This doesn't really have that same epic appeal that some of the other ones do, but for what this game intended this boss fight to be, I think it works out wonderfully. Coming in at our second place Chaos fight, we have Skylanders Trap Team, yes sir. The Skylanders Trap Team, or Traptanium Chaos boss fight as it's known, is pretty solid, I'd say. It has a satisfying difficulty spike. No matter what difficulty setting you're on, it takes the previous challenge and amps it up a bit, and some people don't like this boss fight for that reason, but I mean, what's life without a good challenge here or there? One thing though, the healing, where he just constantly re-heals his health bar, that gets old kind of fast. It kind of makes the health bar seem a little irrelevant to the actual fight. And it is kind of repetitive with the waves and just dodging attacks over and over again, you know. But, you know, I don't think that hurts it too bad. He does have also a little too much health maybe. Definitely not as bad as the SSA fight, but still a little bit excessive, my friend. The music, while stock music, so is actually pretty fitting for the fight. Gives you a real sense of dread, which is I think what they were going for with the thematics here. Overall though, a pretty solid Chaos fight. But the best is yet to come. For the best Chaos fight of the entire Skylanders console game run, you know who it is. The one, the only one left, so you literally know who it is. Skylanders Giants. This Chaos fight, man, it just knocks it so far out of the park. Sets the bar so high, just to have that bar destroyed by the next game. Yeah, that was a tragedy. But Giants Chaos fight is some good stuff. Honestly, when I went into this video, I was fully prepared to have Trap Team as my first place pick, but then when I replayed the Giants boss fight, man, something just hit. The cinematics of it all, the two giant robots fighting in the background, not in the background, like literally right there, you're influencing the fight. The music, man, definitely, easily, the best boss music in the entire series, possibly. Just take a listen, honestly. It's like the Giants theme and the Chaos theme meet dubstep in the best way possible. It's like Skylanders Giants theme, epic remix that you see on YouTube. I could gawk about that music track for a long time. And another thing, it's not very repetitive. I know I took points off the other fights for having you fight the same enemies that you've been playing the whole game over and over again, but I don't think these enemies overstay their welcome, and they're not the only threat. So I think it's passable here. It's a satisfying conclusion to the story. A very satisfying conclusion. I mean, you get the giant Chaos fighting the giant Hermit guy. It's magnificent. It's magnificent. It brings giants wrapped up like a neat little bow. And also, this is a thing I think the other boss fights were lacking to a degree. You actually feel like you're progressing throughout the boss fight. The music starts to change once you start winning. It changes from the Chaos theme to the Giants theme. You can actually see the health bar going down. There's a visual representation of you gaining success over Chaos with your giant robot winning while fighting his. I feel like you actually feel progression throughout the boss fight, which some of the others might have been lacking by also just having a ridiculous amount of health, Trap Team. Overall though, I could talk about the Giants boss fight for a while, but it is without a doubt the best Chaos boss fight of the entire console game run, and that is not up for debate. Well, that's my list. That's what I think of the Skylanders Kaos boss fights. Thank you all for watching, and you know, after a bit of craziness on the channel, I thought it'd be nice to just sit back with a little straightforward ranking video, just like the Superchargers boss fight, simple but sweet. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, and if you're still here at the outro, thank you so much, man. And just so I know that you're a real G, comment giggity gold star in the chat. And if you did enjoy the video, possibly consider subscribing, and if you do subscribe, make sure to click that bell icon, because then you'll be able to see anytime I'm live streaming Skylanders. Maybe hop on in, you know. And if you really want to be sure you know when I'm live, maybe consider joining the Discord, because there's a role in there that lets you have instant stream notifications, because sometimes YouTube notifications will be buggy. Link in the description, of course. Anyway, I'll stop plugging myself now. Because you got a gold star for excellence. Anyway, with that being said, thank you all once again. Have a very American afternoon, and I'll see you in the PM.